you have to show the recruiter why your experience, why your skills, why your specs are better than others on the market. It's not just to list, I have to done this, 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 and that. You have to use arguments already in your resume to show the recruiter and to catch recruiter attention, to show the recruiter that you qualify for this job. And click, please. And don't forget your contact information. More than you think, more often than you think, people forget to provide the current contact information. And one very handy tip when you're using your email address, create like looking professional one, like your name at gmail.com or whatever service you like. Don't do like I have 100 cats emails, and this is the real example, believe me. I saw resumes with I have 100 cats at gmail.com. For recruiter, it's an office joke, and they will not treat you seriously. So you have to create this brand from the very first moment, from the very first impression you are supposed to create. Like you have to sell this car, and you have to keep this in mind. I'm selling my skill set. I'm selling my brand. I'm selling Aleksandra, recruiter. And I'm selling Aleksandra, immigration law professional. And those will be two different resumes. So next slide, please. So like I already covered this. So like in the car, you say, you talking about your make, engine type, year, price, contact information. In your resume, you talk about your profession, who you are, your key achievements, which are in the summary, on the top of your resume, your experience, education, and the contact information. I purposely put this in this order because it's like my favorite order of the things in the resume. You can put the contact information also on the top of your resume saying XYZ, engineer, contact information, okay? So resume, in North America, resume is a short, straight to the point document created for the purpose of applying for a specific job. I already mentioned this. It will be different resume for Aleksandra, recruiter, and the different resume for Aleksandra, immigration professional. Next slide, please. So we are talking all the time about resume, but probably you also heard about curriculum vitae, CV. Like, for example, in Poland, the country I'm from, we are using CV. However, in North America, for the job application purposes, we are using curriculum vitae, CV. Oh, pardon, we are using resume. So CV is mostly submitted for the jobs in academia, scientific research, medical fields. It's very credential based. However, for like most common job search, we are using resume. And resume is competency based. This is like your personal marketing document, which is intended to showcase your skills, your notable achievements, work experience to your greatest advantage. Okay? So why it is important again? Next slide, please. Because how much time you think a recruiter dedicates to pre-screen your resume? And I will ask Whitney to break you in smaller groups. And then I will ask each group to either to speak, either to put on the chat window, like your group result. How much time recruiter will dedicate to pre-screen, to pre-qualify a resume? Please make some brainstorming and get back to me in 5 minutes. Okay, so can I get your results, everyone? You can, like, if it's most convenient for you, I suggest each group types in the chat window, what are your results? So again, how much time does recruiter spend? Okay, we have answer from Kate. Israel 15, Purva 5. How many groups we had, Whitney?
3.
Okay, so I have from 4 people. Okay, so you all are right. Unfortunately, in fact, Israel, who answered as the first one, was provided perfect answer. Yes, it's 6 seconds on average, which is somehow sad because you think like, I worked so hard on my resume, I perfected this, and it's not what, only 6 seconds someone dedicates to my great job. It's true. Keep in mind that recruiters got like dozens applications for every position. They simply don't have time. They they have to report to their bosses, to the supervisors, like, you know, how many people they pre-screen and this and that. So yes, they learn techniques how to pre-screen your resume. So just they give like a glimpse and they move on. So you have to catch their attention. You have, getting back, you have to, your resume has to be an ad selling your skills. So let's move to the next slide, because I always get questions from people like, are there any types of resumes in Canada? How it looks like? Yes, there are 3 most common types of resumes used in Canada, which is a traditional reverse chronological. When in chronological order, you describe your experience. The second one is called strategic functional, and the third one is like hybrid. So it's really important to choose the right resume format for the job you're applying for. Your choice should be determined by the amount of experience you have and the type of job you are seeking. So I don't know, probably you already know or you experience that most of Canadian employers use something what is called ATS. This is applicant tracking system. And it's to screen your resume before even they look at it. So this ATS systems, they reject an average of 75% of resumes before they are seen by recruiter. So imagine that, recruiter dedicates 5-6 seconds on your resume after it managed to pass through ATS system. So many times candidates are qualified, but the resume is not optimized for the ATS. Me personally, from my like recruitment times, I always read resumes if they were in the database, because I know that many people don't know how to write resumes or don't know how to use the keywords. And sometimes the most important information like needs time to read. I'm lucky because I'm very like quick, fast reader, so I don't need that much ATS. But yes, but like this like daily thing in the recruiter life in Canada. So what is the reverse chronological resume and when to use it? So this type of resume details your job experience in reverse chronological order, starting with the most recent position. Okay. This is the best resume format if you already have some experience in the workforce. If you are a recent college graduate or have some significant work gaps, you should consider hybrid or other format. So again, this reverse chronological is most common. And if you have some recent job experience or you don't have huge gaps, it's better to use this one. When you use hybrid or functional Canada resume format. So this functional resume focuses on your skills and qualifications instead of your experience, right? Because when you have gaps, like for example, I don't know, someone was stay-at-home mom for 5 years, it doesn't look good on resume. But the same person has experience from before 5 years ago, but before the time she was staying-home mom, or she has amazing achievement from some role, or she was, I don't know, helping at school of her children's school, organize this and that. So you put in this information on the top of your resume other than a chronological experience. You're saying, I have skill A, skill B, skill C, and give the example. One of the most common mistakes in writing resumes is using, I'm open-minded, I'm a quick learner, I am team worker. This means nothing. You have to provide example. If you are team worker, what does it mean? Right? Or so I work in the team of 5 people and I help colleagues when they need this, when they, or recently I helped colleague with this and that, or I created a working group or came up, or like I came up with the idea to create working group to support my colleagues with this and that. You have to provide examples, not too detailed, but some, because everyone is using this like words like team worker, hard worker, you know, but it's like empty word. And you have, it must be more factual. So again, coming back to the why we are talking about functional resume, because if you put on the top of your resume this achievements, this facts, this skills you have, other than the experience with which you have gaps, or you maybe have no experience, you still create a very good image. You still create a situation that recruiter will be interested in reading your resume. You may catch his or her attention and sell this car for a while, right? So it will create this enough interest to go deeper to your resume, to read this resume, or and probably invite you for an interview. So let's go to the next slide. What are do's and don'ts of your Canadian resume? So how many resumes usually recruiter gets for one job? Do you have any idea? It's like hundreds for some positions. Even for skilled positions can be 50 or 80, but of course the situation when there's none. But there's like headache for recruiter, not for you. You have to find a job. So you must keep in mind creating your resume that there are things you totally should never do. So let's focus maybe first on what you should do with your resume. We already talked about this. You have to say who you are. So you have to put your name and contact information. I really personally like when they say also like a professional position they are applying for, like, for example, Aleksandra, blah, 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 recruiter, or Cesar, blah, 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 big boss. Do you like this, Cesar? Okay. Please, 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 not double, but couple of times check your contact details. You can't, like, people really, like, when you know your phone number by heart, it's really super easy to make a typo here, and then the recruiter would be not able to contact you. or you are sending or like some version of older resume, you change your phone number in the meantime, and you forgot to update us. Please pay an extra attention to this part. LinkedIn. If you're applying for any professional position in Canada, please provide your LinkedIn address. And at our next webinar, we will be talking about how to perfect your online presence and your LinkedIn profile, because these days, first thing recruiter does is checking you in the internet. So LinkedIn is super, super, super important. It can be that important that, for example, you have on LinkedIn, you have section where you can get endorsements from people who worked with you before. And recruiter can contact them and ask, oh, have you really worked with this person? Have you, you were working together as a team members? What type of person she or he is? It's really important. And many people still do not have the LinkedIn profiles. And in Canada, especially professional positions, it's your second most important document just after your resume. So perfect this contact information portion. Skills. We tend to make, like all of us, we tend to make a common mistake to have one resume for any job we are applying for. No. Your resume has to be tailored, which means that if you're applying for position A, your skills summary has to reflect what is in the job description for this position. If you're applying for position B, again, it must be different, because your experience is one thing, but from your experience, you have like various skills. So means I'm using my example just to help you and just to track everything. So again, if I would be applying for a position of recruiter, I would say proficient with ATS systems, proficient with, it's called Boolean search. It's one of the tools recruiters use. Advanced level of some other skill. If I would be applying for a position of immigration legal expert, I would say 5 years of experience with work permit applications, 3 years of successful applications for study permits, 99% approval rate of applications. This is what you need to do, like on the top of your resume. Few lines about your most important skills, which reflect what is in the job description for this position. Then your experience, and we will talk about this a little bit later. What Canadian recruiters or hiring managers love, other than your hard skills, which you described on the top of your resume, they want to hear about your soft skills as well. So these things like, I am a team worker. There's skills like, I'm great and in conflict resolution. It's really important, and think about your skills and try to put them like few lines, few words. I'm my boss right hand when it comes to communication with my teammates. Or I speak this and this and this language, and I understand this and this and that culture. So I can be like a translator or like connector in the Canadian multicultural environment. This is important. We are from all over the world here in Canada, right? So employees really, really appreciate this. Professional certifications. This is quite important part because many jobs in Canada are regulated. So if you're applying, for example, for engineering position which requires a PEGA certification, you have to have the certification and you have to disclose this in your resume, right? If you don't have any certification, but if you are in the process of obtaining one, disclose this as well. Say, I am, I don't know, like professional, like let's say APEGA completion or APEGA exam scheduled for January 2021. Okay, but this is like really important information because sometimes it can be that you may not have this certification yet, but you may impress recruiter or hiring manager so much with your other skills that they still offer you this job, and they will wait for you to be fully certified. So next slide, please. So now we have Canadian resume. There's on the left side of the screen, you can see how it should like. So again, resume is a short, condensed document to sell your labor market skills. It's not your very detailed CV, curriculum vitae. It's condensed. It is to sell you on the market. So what you should do, how should you do your resume? We discussed this today a couple of times, and it's really important. It's probably like I'm repeating over and over this. You have to tailor your resume and make this like responding to the job offer, to the job, to the job posting. Match this with the job posting. So read the job posting carefully and make changes in your resume so it reflects what the job advertisement is for. So this part, this resume title part, this is the part where you are like doing the summary of your skills. That's what we discussed just a while before. So here you will say, I am a PEGA certified engineer with 15 years of experience. I work on project, $15 million projects. I managed to lead the team which achieved, I don't know, which saved 10% cost of the construction. Show the numbers, the things which bring the attention. Okay, don't say, oh, I'm an this example of I just shared with you, it will be a good one, a good summary. The bad summary, it will be, I am a construction engineer who work on the large projects with big teams. I want to work in Canada. And it's not that I'm exaggerating, but I've seen so many resumes of great professionals who just didn't know that numbers talk, achievement talks. Keep in mind, recruiter daily sees hundreds of various resumes, and recruiter normally works on a couple of positions, not on one position per day. So you have like 5-10 positions to fill every day, okay? So you have, again, I will say this again, this is the most important part of your resume. You have to sell yourself. So keywords, why it's so important, and I believe we'll be talking about this a little bit later. So again, read the job posting and try to think what is so important in this job posting, what the employer, what is the key for employer, what they're saying, like whatever certification is a must. So if you don't have the certification and you are not in the process of obtaining one, don't waste your time, okay? If they say 5 years of experience, example from this morning, from my recruitment process. My client is looking for a drywall finisher, and they say 1 year of experience is minimum, right? So and it was like this morning, it was like almost 50 resumes of people who applied for these jobs, or 50 applicants, because some of them even haven't sent resumes, just like, oh, I can work. Never do that. And out of this like 50 resumes, there was maybe 11 who had this 1 year of experience. All other resumes, garbage, because the employer says at least 1 year of experience, okay? So if you see in the job posting, 1 year of experience, add this to your resume. Even on the top, I have 5+ years of this experience you are seeking, you are looking for. I have this skill you want, okay? You have to do it this way. So keywords are very important. Keep your resume organized, well formatted. Don't use various formats. Don't use bullet point here, bullet numbers here, there. Don't use like different fonts. Keep the same size of the font. Keep the same color of the font. You are showing the recruiter and your potential employer that you really care. So again, make it looking perfect. Typos and grammar mistakes. We all make them. Doesn't matter if you like use some online, especially when we speak the second language, and for us, all of us, English is our second language. Ask someone to reread your resume. Don't only trust your skills. Ask few people. Ask some Canadian, and keep in mind that not all Canadians, know grammar well. So if you ask, like, you trust one person, and this person will not catch the grammar mistakes, you don't want to have this on your resume. Ask somebody else, and people like to help. And I'm pretty sure that if you ask someone for a help with your resume, they will help you. Avoid any typos. Read and reread your resume before you send it to recruiter. Bold key information and achievement. You can do this in the top part in your summary, but you can do this also when you're describing your experience. Because, for example, you say, I managed a team of 5 cleaning persons, right? I created such a good atmosphere, means like use it in the like resume wording. Created great working atmosphere, which allowed to retain people at work for 3 years. Think means, I don't know your personal resumes, but every single person is able to find something in the resume to show the achievements. We all have achievements. It's to bold them, to show them to the recruiter. Use numbers. We already discussed this. Again, don't say, I work on the big, I work in the big hospital, in the big kitchen. No. Say, I worked in the professional medical facility kitchen in the team of 55 employees in a stressful environment, fast-paced environment, focused on this and that. Together with my team, we managed to save 2% of the daily operation cost for the hospital kitchen. Everyone can find these numbers in the experience, and this is very important to show them. Make your resume look clear, keep it simple, don't use crazy formatting, but we'll get to the don'ts in a second. Make it looking professional and nice. And this example you have on the slide right now, it's like really neat, really nice example of resume. And I'm sure there will be a video, means we are recording a video, so you will be able to get access to this if you need at the later date as well. Thank you, Cesar. Yeah. Go to the star. So we are talking about achievement, about numbers, about showing recruiter that you are a successful person. And everyone can be successful. Cleaning person can be successful, and company president can be successful. We just need to think how to sell our successes, achievements, and so yeah, I think I got frozen. Anyways, so one of the best methods or the most recommended methods to talk about your achievements and successes is the method called STAR. Probably many of you have heard, especially those who have a like managerial experience, you probably heard about this this methodology already. So what it means: describe everything on your resume, means the key achievement, obviously not everything, using this methodology. So what was the situation? What was your task? What was the action taken? And what was result? And you can be sure that during the interview, you will have questions from the recruiter, and the recruiter will be really, really happy if you use this methodology describing what happened. So for example, when and how to use STAR methodology to describe the situation. And based on our experience, we have very different situation at work we had to deal with. So for example, you have a conflict in a team, right? You have two people in the team who don't like each other, they're fighting all the time, and this affects your performance, this affects entire team results, and you're coming with the idea. So the situation is two people are fighting in the team. We are losing on our performance. What is the task? Task is to resolve the situation, to find the way they stop to fight, right? Action taken, talk to them, describe. I managed to talk to them, or I managed to get the management's permission for anxiety management courses for both of them. Or I discussed the situation with other teams and we switched people. You know what is in there, but present this action. Result, as a result, situation was resolved. Everyone were happy, there was no more conflicts in the team, everyone can focus on the job, okay? Another level situation. You are an, again, engineer. You have a situation that you are getting information from your suppliers that some tool will be delayed by 2 weeks, and this will like stop construction, right? What is the task? The task is to prevent stopping the construction site, to stop the delays. 2 weeks delay is huge, it's a lot of money. So what action you did? You rented for 2 weeks some other tool. You change the schedule if possible in the construction. Some example, what was the result? We haven't lost money. I saved the situation, I found the way. So this is the STAR methodology. And now I will ask Whitney to break you to groups again. And I want each group, or I'm asking each group to discuss and to present one situation, to describe one situation using STAR methodology. It can be from your professional life, it can be from your personal life. So as a group, discuss one situation. You can present choose one within the group, discuss what was the situation, task, action, and result. And we will be back in 10 minutes. And I also ask each group to have like one presenter, because this time I will ask you to present your STAR for each group. We are back. So I hope you like this little bit of practice, because I really, really want you, each time you work on your resume, to keep the STAR methodology technique in your mind and write your resume using this. So I will ask someone from group number 1, where we have Israel and Juan. Can you please tell me, can one of you present your experience describing this with a STAR? Group number 1, Israel, Juan. I don't know who else is in this group. You have unmute. You have to unmute.
Yeah, Judy is going to share her STAR, or maybe Israel, who will translate from French to English.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I found out in the meeting room that they both speak French and Spanish.
Oh, Spanish.
Judy was sharing something in French and I couldn't understand, and then Israel suddenly translated it. Israel, come join us.
Hello.
Hey.
Yeah, I prefer. I don't know if you can give the example, please.
Judy, Mary.
Israel gonna give the example. Go ahead, Israel. Go ahead.
Okay.
There's no bad answers. It's not a competition. We are sharing experience. We all learning.
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay, so well, Judy was telling us about a time when she was working as a data entry, and somebody was having a little bit of problem with the work. So she came to help this person, and she felt very happy because she could help in the work.
Okay, and as a result, the person didn't have problems anymore, I understand, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a perfect example. So it was a situation, and it's a perfect, actually, example to describe that you're a team worker. So the situation, team worker has issues. Task, the issue has to be resolved. Action, as a more experienced person with that, I approached him and I helped him. As a result, he learned a new skill, the problem was solved, and we only work better in this team for forever, or for the next whatever time, okay? So this is perfect. Thank you so much, Julie, Israel, Juanito. And let's go to, please put yourself on mute, and let's go back, let's go to the group where is Kate and Prita. Prita, can you present, can group number 2 present your STAR situation?
Sure, I could give one example. When I had my first job as a legal assistant, my manager did not my manager did not explicitly tell me to bring in new clients but I just thought it would be a wonderful thing to do. So my overall task was to increase the number of clients and do it as quickly as possible to showcase my skills and to prove that I can do my job very well. So I had to learn how to conduct a series of cold calls and, you know, spread the news through the word of mouth among my friends and family members. So as a result, I was able to increase the overall number of clients by 40%.
Wow.
Within the first 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, I was very happy because
Can
of
you
it.
can you work with me?
Sure. Absolutely.
Great. This is another ideal description using the STAR methodology. And actually, I would put this on your summary on the top of your resume. In the first 3 months of my employment with the firm XYZ, on my own initiative, I increased the sales by 40%. This is like huge. 3 months, 40%. Wow.
Yeah, and I believe I also was able to exercise my communication skills and you know, take an initiative and doing research. Yeah, a whole bunch of things.
Yeah, but this is more like in the actions section. The situation was again, the situation was that the sale was on the level X, and you had a task to increase it. So you did actions, this and this, this and that, to achieve this result. This is the way you describe this right now. It's a perfect to use it during the interview. However, for a resume, you have just only limited space on this page. So say, I manage, and like really put this on the top of your summary. This is like amazing skill and a great achievement. I managed within 3 months, I managed to achieve 40% of the sales increase with the company I just started to work for. Fantastic. Thank you so much. Please mute yourself. Yeah. And team number 3, which is Priva and very difficult name starting with I. IFO.
Ifeoluwa.
Very not for my Polish tongue. I'm sorry. Which country are you from?
Ifeoluwa,
Uh-huh.
Nigeria.
All right. Okay. So, Mr. I, please, can you tell us your STAR situation you discussed with your colleague?
Oh, sorry about that. It's Juanito speaking. I was just speaking in behalf of Ifeoluwa.
Okay.
Sorry, sorry
Okay.
for the
it's all good.
misstep.
So, can group number 3 present your situation, task, action, and result?
Hello?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Ifeoluwa speaking. I had a responsibility one time to help my organization with debt recovery. And the situation was that the money had been held for quite a long time, and the money wasn't forthcoming. So my boss called me and gave me the task to find a way to get the money. So I work as a lawyer in my home country. So first of all, we had already gotten judgment, which was favorable, but the organization had taken monies out of their accounts. So what I did was I made research online, and then I found a company that had been formed by that organization. And so they were selling some forms out, and they told people to make payments into that account. So they provided the account details that we were looking for online. And so that was what we used. We went to court and got a court order attaching funds from that account to settle the debt. And we got the monies paid in over the weekend. Like it was credited over Friday, and by Monday I knew that money had been paid in.
It's amazing success, and yes, you should use this as a conflict resolution example, as a achievement focus or result focused skill. This is very like important skill, right? When we are talking about skill, and this is like those are like for this two situations is like a great example using the STAR methodology, proving the recruiter that you can resolve situation, resolve conflicts because it's a conflicting situation. You are focus oriented, you are working very quickly, you are focused on results.
Yes.
Okay, so use this example in your resume because it's very good one. Thank you so much, group number 3.
Thank you.
Please mute yourself. So thank you all 3 groups. I hope this will inspire you to write your resume using STAR methodology. It means I really personally, not only professionally, like it because it helps to see the thing in a very clear way. So again, situation, task, action, result. Okay, and when you will be interviewed, you can have a little handout with a situation, task, action, result with you during the interview. And each question the interviewer asks you about your experience, they have questions like, what was the biggest success? What was your biggest failure? Use STAR, have this handout. You can have notes during the interview. And I'm pretty sure you'll be landing interviews soon. So we talk a lot about what to do with your interview, what to add to your interview, how to format it, but we have some golden don'ts. So never include your picture in the Canadian resume. Other than you may think, 88% of the resumes which have a picture got the rejection rate, because in Canada it's perceived not professional to add your picture to your resume. Never disclose your age on your resume. Again, it's not professional, and actually it's forbidden in the Canadian law to ask the candidate of the age. You never disclose your personal information, and I know, and it's based on my experience, in some countries is the way to write the resumes, but not in Canada. Never say how tall you are, what is your eyes color, what is your religion, how many children you have. First of all, it's nobody's business, because here we are focused only on your professional skills. Secondly, it's not a Canadian type of resume, so in Canadian resume, you don't disclose this personal information. The most important thing, don't do typos or grammar mistakes. Or other words, do check your resume, do reread. Ask people to read it 5 times, 10 times. Remember, English is your second language. You may not catch something. Ask people for help. Treat this like your marketing document. It's what we are talking, like I told you at the beginning of the session that we'll be talking about marketing, because your resume, it's your selling tool, it's your marketing tool. Okay? So typos and grammar, please believe me. If recruiter sees a typo or grammar mistake on this really beautifully done resume, garbage. Why? Well, if you don't spend enough time, if you're not engaged enough to perfect your resume, why should the recruiter think or the employer think that then you will be engaged to perfect your job? Okay? So this is like really, really important. Please don't do any tables in your resume. Don't make that a column here and is a part of your experience. Another column, part of your experience. Another whatever table or format, your education. No. Why? No. Because most often you will be applying through some agency or through some online system. Not only it's not readable or worse edible for ATS, applicant tracking system, but especially when you're applying for some recruitment agency, they do not present your original resume to the employer. Every agency, has all branding, and they have to format or reformat your resume to their branding. So they have to work with this document. It has to be manageable. If you have zillion of tables, pictures, this and that, it only takes hours of recruiter time, and he or she will be upset. You can be even blacklisted in this agency because you're some crazy person like playing with PDFs and like, you know, maybe should look for a job as a graphic designer, but not as legal assistant, right? Of course, if you're a graphic designer, this is another story because again, you're selling your skills, right? So make it neat. But like for general people who have nothing in common with design, keep it simple, no tables, no crazy formatting. It's as important as typos and grammar. Please believe me, like I've seen so many resumes in my life. Keep it simple. Make recruiter life easier. They will be grateful. They will be getting back to you every so often and offering you jobs. You just need to open the door to your first job with the perfect resume. So yes, spend a lot of time on this.